Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone podcast. My name is Kathy. We had previously reported to you that the defense, Ashley Guillard, in the so-called Idaho4 defamation case that has been pending in the United States District Court in Idaho, had sought to have reconsidered a prior victorious entry of what's called partial summary judgment on liability regarding two defamation claims brought against Ms. Guillard based on what the plaintiff, Rebecca Scofield, had brought forward in her lawsuit for defamation. This is in case number 322CV00521 REP. It's document number 96. It was filed May 30th, 2025. This is a 7-page document which is available to you to read in full online. The court first gives a background, states that this case arose out of the tragic unalivings of 4 University of Idaho students in November of 2022, and that the plaintiff, Rebecca Scofield, is a professor at the University of Idaho who alleges that despite never meeting any of these students or being involved with their unalivings in any way, that the defendant, Ashley Guillard, who is a internet sleuth, psychic, had brought forward claims both on TikTok and YouTube that claimed the plaintiff, number one, had had an extramarital romantic affair with one of the victims and then went ahead and ordered the 4 unalivings to prevent the affair from coming to light. The court then goes on to explain on page 2 that on June 6th, the court went ahead and granted plaintiff's amended motion for partial summary judgment as to the issue of liability, not damages, for plaintiff's 2 defamation claims. Now, more recently, the defendant, Ms. Guillard, was looking to have that partial summary judgment set aside. She had, in May 15th, 2025, put forward some evidence that she had asked the court in Ada County to provide her with records that were under seal. And what Judge Hippler did was to deny that request, finding she was not a party in the Idaho versus Koberger case. She had to go through the process of seeking these records through the public record request. There was evidence that she sought that information. It is unclear if it was ever responded to with actual records or any type of a response to her. But what the court found is all of that is irrelevant. What the court has said, this case is not about whether Mr. Koberger committed these crimes. This case is about whether the defendant defamed the plaintiff by repeatedly accusing plaintiff of an affair with a student before ordering the student and 3 others unaliving. On that linchpin, the court says, the court has concluded there is no genuine dispute as to any material fact that defendant did this, regardless of whether Mr. Koberger or anyone else committed these crimes. The evidence that defendant cites in support of her motion does not change this conclusion because there continues to be no corroborating support for defendant's statements about plaintiff, and for those reasons, the defendant's motion is denied. And then the court orders, and this is the Chief Magistrate Judge, Honorable Raymond F. Patrico, that 2 things happen: that the parties, number 1, shall meet and confer to discuss trial dates, and number 2, after doing so, on or before June 16th, 2025, the parties shall file a joint status report with the parties' proposals for trial dates, and then also to state whether the parties have a mutual interest in participating in a judicial settlement conference. We will continue to keep you posted as further developments arise, because what this trial would be to determine damages. And again, this would be in Idaho, in the district court in Idaho. This will now conclude this episode of the Indie Zone podcast. My name is Kathy. Thank you for joining us today.